PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to PACTV Community News. We're excited to bring you local stories from your communities. This week, we take you to the launch of an exciting new cultural website for the South Shore, and we head to Wareham to learn about the cranberry industry in this region.
PCN stops into the BID Women's Health Symposium, visits a playground ribbon-cutting event, and we preview Les Mis at Silver Lake Regional High School.
We head to Pembroke for a Pembroke Salutes event on the town green and finish with 2 Halloween events, a haunted house in Duxbury and a benefit party in Plymouth.
It's a great show, and we begin with the arts in downtown Plymouth. Plymouth Bay Cultural District is a designation granted by the Massachusetts Cultural Council as a geographic area containing a concentration of cultural facilities, activities, and assets. Because it's walkable, it is easily identifiable to visitors and residents and serves as a center of culture, artistic, and economic activity. With a grant provided by the state, the Plymouth Bay Cultural District has launched a comprehensive website that allows events and organizations to share what's going on. PCN recently attended the website launch party to bring you more.
The Cultural District was formed in 2014, begun by the Plymouth 400 group. Because of all the activity that's going to be here in 2020, we want to be ready for it. So it's to unite all of the cultural organizations and get them to form partnerships. Well, tonight's the launch of the website of the Plymouth Bay Cultural District, but truthfully, it's the launch of the Cultural District itself. The district was formed to allow the different arts organizations, the businesses that benefit because the arts organizations are here, and the visitors to the district, so that we can all communicate and get information to one another. The energy tonight is because it's all about moving forward with the district. Now that we have this tool that we're able to communicate with the different groups involved, we're going to move forward with some really exciting projects. I love that sort of thing that just brings people together. I'd like to see more music on the street, more artists outdoors doing, like a plein air kind of paintings outside. I just want art everywhere. I'd like to see a lot more public art, a lot more murals. So just have that kind of local art all over, leading people from place to place. One of the things I've seen is a lot more collaboration than there's ever been before. Arts organizations generally have a small staff. There's a few people trying to do big things, so nobody has time to see what everybody else is doing. But even just our meetings allows us to get together, and the ideas that come out of there are, they just fly. Somebody brings something up, and then somebody has something else, and then you realize how much more can get done if we just all work together. But nobody could take the time before to do that. So that's, for me personally, that's the most rewarding thing that I've seen, is just the great ideas that have come out of that, and the willingness for people to collaborate, that it just wasn't happening before.
And Plymouth has so many varied cultural, artistic, musical, theatrical groups and presentations every year that it's wonderful that there's one central place now to go find everything, which is really kind of what it was missing. So she made a really good point.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like the idea of there being more murals.
Yes.
When they're done correctly, when they're done, well,
they're beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think people, a lot of times when art just appears, people love it. They don't realize just how much work and collaboration is involved in putting it all together. So now we kind of have an idea.
Yeah,
that's
really
cool.
Really great. Great job.
The famous novel, musical, and various film versions of Victor Hugo's classic Les Miserables will be Silver Lake Regional High School's musical production this fall. This is no small task, even for well-seasoned professionals. The beloved musical takes high-level acting, singing, and stagecraft, but Silver Lake's drama department feels up to the challenge. PCN stopped in to preview this exceptional show.
Now someone say to David Henda. Now someone say how this began.
Les Mis is
probably my favorite musical of all time. I think it's safe to say that. For me personally, it goes all the way back to I was a high school kid when Les Mis first went on Broadway. So I've loved it since I was the age of these students, and have had the opportunity. We did it in 2004 when the school edition first came out, and I've known that when the time came that I had the students, the commitment, the depth of program to tackle this show again, that I couldn't wait to. So we've brought the program to be about more than just the singing and the acting too, and that's very exciting. To be able to rehearse. I know you can't see all the spaces, but to be able to already be rehearsing with the set being built around you. And so what I feel strongly like most about after our rehearsal today, we don't have a weak spot. Every person is as strong as the person who played a role before them. Every character who comes out, and that goes not just for the principals, it then goes to the soloists, your 3 sailors who just came out. Perfect solo, perfect solo, perfect solo.
What pretty hair, what pretty locks.
We sort of have perhaps the strongest core of vocal talent and theatrical talent that I've ever had. I think, when I think of Les Mis, I don't think first of the destitution and how miserable they are. I think first on the arc of the character Jean Valjean and how, the lines that stick with me, to love another person is to see the face of God. To me, the show is about love, about redemption, about doing for good, to make a choice to be honorable, to make a choice to help somebody as opposed to hurt somebody, to make a choice to be a part of the good as opposed to a part of the destruction. The sun will rise, that message. When we talk about sort of the miserableness and the death and the destruction, and there's something about that's really easy for high school kids to get into. It's, I don't know if it's because they study it in English, they've studied it in history, but I find that this topic and this time period is very accessible because it links up with what they've studied in a curricular way. It's actually like teeny bopper mystery hat. I think the biggest thing is more about the role actually of theater and theater arts in schools in general. I think why I can't get enough of it really, why I'm still here in the building at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night, 21 years later, is it's both such an individual and then such a collective effort. So what I think is most incredible about this show is all the way from our Jean Valjean to our poorest beggar who's in the back row of the ensemble, everybody's in this show working to tell the same story to the same end. And that doesn't happen in every event. We're engaging probably 90 plus students in this production, and there is a definite belief that it's our collective effort that will is what's going to make it probably, hopefully, the best show we've done.
Pembroke held an event on the town green to show its appreciation for all of the people who serve the town and everything that they do. Among other activities at the event, organizations got the opportunity to showcase exactly what they do to contribute to the town. PCN stopped in to get the full story.
It's about thanking everyone that serves again if we get donations.
Because of all the folks that serve our town, the volunteers, the town employees, we just wanted to take a day and have an appreciation for all that these folks do for our wonderful town. So today's event was basically set up where these organizations can showcase what they do for the town. So we have lots of folks here. We have the Firehouse Pantry who's giving away, it's a whole free food market, farmers market. We have the Pembroke Recreation Department. We have the First Church of Pembroke who's doing the concession stands. The money for that goes towards the folks that will go down to West Virginia and Maine to help rebuild houses. We have the Boy Scouts over there, Girl Scouts on the other side of the field. We got to keep them separate. Friends of the Pembroke Shelter, the animal shelter. Custom Design Mobility. We have Friends of the Council on Aging as well as the Council on Aging. We have the Disabilities, Commission on Disabilities here. The Pembroke Library, they did a story time. It was adorable. They read a little Halloween story. The Lions Club, they're selling mums. Assembly of God. And of course we have the Pembroke and the police here. And Army recruiters, they have a football toss game as well as you can make a dog tag. And then the Historical Societies. We have a few buildings that are open where you can go in, the library, Boys and Girls Club, and the Historical Society. So again, this is just, today's is about saying thank you to the people that serve our wonderful town. And then tonight, around sunset, or 30 minutes after sunset, it's going to be a spectacular display of fireworks at the Pembroke High School. So we're real excited about that. Again, that's just our way of saying thank you to all the folks that serve our town. I love this town. It's a special town to me. And our committee wants to continue with these great events. So we also do the Pembroke tree lighting, Pembroke's largest water balloon fight. Tonight we're doing the fireworks, and we're hoping to do a parade at some point. So we're really excited about these activities, and we have a donation page set up, a GoFundMe page, and would love to sort of keep these activities going and make it free for folks. The overall goal is just to make people aware that the folks that run this town really are doing a great job, and just to stop and say thank you, not just today, but throughout the year.
We set up this event today as a way to say thank you to the people that do so much for our town. There's no way we could possibly thank everybody that does everything for us with all of the different foundations and committees and boards, but we want to try at least. So we encourage everybody to say thank you to your police officers, your firemen, your librarians, teachers, anybody you think is doing a good job for somebody else in the community. That's what we're trying to do here. And that's what this event was about, and that's when we're going to be having fireworks tonight. It'll be a celebration of all those who serve. It gives us, basically it acts as a festive and gentle reminder to say thank you. Because often these people go unsung and unnoticed, and I think there's nothing wrong with saying thank you. Put a little bit of karma out there, it'll come back to you, but it's just a chance to maybe take a moment, a breath, and realize what a great town you live in.
Kingston held a celebration for the rehabilitation of the Fred L. Bailey Playground with some of the Bailey family members who were able to witness the playground transformations over the years. A ribbon cutting was held to open the newly renovated playground. PCN stopped by to check out the excitement.
Today we are celebrating the rehabilitation of the Captain Fred L. Bailey Playground with a ribbon cutting ceremony and some of the Bailey family members. I am a resident of Kingston. I've lived here for 25 years and worked for the town for 18 years. So my children also grew up on this playground. So being a part of this project and seeing this playground and the history of Kingston continue is sentimental to me as well. Today we will be having Helen Garudi, who is actually the daughter of the Captain Fred L. Bailey. She's just turned 90 years old and celebrated her birthday with about 100 friends and family last weekend. She'll be here, and other Bailey family members, some of the recreation commissioners from the town of Kingston, and the chairperson, I think, from the Board of Selectmen as well. The renovation started last May and were completed in about 6 weeks. We were able to raise some funds through the Town of Kingston Community Preservation Committee funding, and it was a great project, and we also had some community involvement. We had some community members that helped us do the playground mulch, and it was just a great event to see. We have a few more pieces that we're still trying to raise money for, but so far everything is fantastic. So we also run a very large summer program where we have over 300 children that attend for 6 weeks. So the playground gets heavily utilized for the 2 months of the summer, July and August, and there's fields to our left and right, and so during that time there's a lot of families that are here, and the kids get to play on the playground while everybody's here together.
I have the best memories. I grew up in Kingston. I live in Plymouth now, but I have the best memories of this playground. We used to have a merry-go-round and the highest swings and seesaws, all the dangerous equipment that the children can't have anymore. It was so much fun, and I'm happy that all the children can play and get a lot of exercise and get stronger and smarter in the playground.
They've fixed up this place so well for the kids to still be playing on it. And my dad would be so happy that they're still using the kids' playground. They're very safe. They're very, well, much safer than in the day when we used to run around the field. But it's just an awesome place for the kids to cool off or heat up. I've always lived in Kingston. My family's always worked in Kingston. And it's just that it's kept going for all these years is wonderful.
Cranberries. Though small and delicious, a staple with our Thanksgiving turkey, many people take for granted the impact of this quintessential Massachusetts crop. We stopped into A.D. Makepeace in Wareham to celebrate 200 years of cranberry growing and learn a little bit about the challenges and impacts of this very important industry.
Today we're celebrating the 200th anniversary of cranberry production in Massachusetts. It started in Dennis, Massachusetts in 1816 by Captain Henry Hall on one small bog, and it has now grown to what it is today, which is more than 13,000 acres of cranberry bog. Cranberries are a major economic driver to southeastern Massachusetts. There are more than 6,900 jobs that rely on this industry. There's $1.4 billion in annual revenue that are generated from Massachusetts cranberries. And it's also a significant source of agritourism opportunities, open space, environmental stewardship. So there's many factors of why cranberries are so important to this region. So some of the challenges that cranberry growers are facing today, the biggest one is the economics. Well, we're faced with some growers who are growing at below their cost of production. So they're actually losing money on a year-to-year basis. And that's been going on for 4 or 5 plus years for some of those growers. So they're hanging onto their farms quite literally by their fingertips. And as that continues, we're going to potentially lose some farms. And so we're trying to do all that we can to stabilize the industry.
When it comes time for Thanksgiving, people think of cranberries and they think of this region. This industry started here. So what we have here on behalf of this delegation is a proclamation on behalf of the governor of the Commonwealth, Charlie Baker, and the administration put together a task force to try to educate individuals of what this industry is dealing with, the challenges, and frankly what the potential is for this industry.
Well, the Cranberry Revitalization Task Force, which I was fortunate enough to be an appointee to, was to look into ways to help our industry. Again, helping make us more competitive, helping those who might want to get out of the industry of cranberry farming, and also making incentives for renewable energy, putting renewable energy sources to work to help control costs. It's very expensive when you're talking about fertilizing and watering cranberry bogs. There's a lot that goes into it, and all of these things cost money, and costs are going up, so again it becomes more and more difficult to stay competitive.
It's important to recognize the 200th anniversary of cranberry production, which is why we're gathered here today. Many people from this area see the cranberry bogs, but they don't truly understand what's going on out there, and many of them don't understand the importance of it to this region from an economic standpoint, environmental. So it's a good way to bring everyone together in southeastern Massachusetts, the legislators, state officials, to say, let's celebrate this 200th year anniversary. The industry's come a long way, but we also need to mark this occasion as we move forward for the next 200 years. There's a lot of challenges in front of us. We're going to need some support as an industry. And why should you support us? Well, that's what we're here for today, to help them recognize by getting literally in the cranberry bog, seeing the open space, seeing the water resources, having them understand the importance of this industry and why that we do need a little bit of help right now to keep this industry going.
A light shined on the cranberry industry, which it's huge in Massachusetts. $1.4 billion, that just amazed me in revenue. And you think cranberries, cranberry sauce, cranberry juice, Cape Codders, which is the cranberry and vodka drink, you know, based out of Massachusetts. I mean, cranberries are huge, and I pass a bog every day on my way to work, and I'm amazed, season by season, the work that goes into the bog and creating the cranberry crop. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's never ending. And it's funny because I went away to college in the western part of the state, and there were kids from other states, and even that part of the state, once you get into the 413 area code, they don't really know about cranberries and cranberry bogs the way we do. So we talk, oh, did you play hockey? Oh, we used to play hockey on the cranberry bogs.
Right.
Like,
what
are you talking about?
Yeah.
But as the season goes on, they flood it, and then
Yeah.
it freezes, and then it comes. It's never ending. And we have they're all over the Cape, they're all over the South Shore. It's really cool. So
great industry.
Yeah. Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital held its annual Women's Health Symposium at the Indian Pond Country Club. Over 350 women came out to hear about breast health, new technology, updated screening recommendations, and breast cancer survivor stories. PCN was there to bring you this story.
We've assembled a group of breast experts and cancer survivors to join together, taking advantage of the fact that it's October and breast cancer awareness. We're going to learn tonight about how to take care of ourselves and how to share that message with our moms, our sisters, our girlfriends, our daughters. I'm proud to be here tonight to host over 350 women coming together to get some additional information about breast health and wellness.
Tonight I'm going to talk about the changing screening mammograms, because in the past it used to be just come and get your mammogram every year starting at the age of 40, but now the changes have been immense. Some people say start at 40, 45, 50, go once a year, go every 2 years. So I hope by the end of tonight people will be able to figure out what I can do for my screening, for my individual risk, for my breasts. And that's what I hope to do tonight.
I'm so excited to see all these women here tonight. Today I'm going to be talking about what radiologists look for on their screening mammograms, why we call those people back, how we detect breast cancer using different modalities such as MRI and ultrasound and of course mammography, and newer techniques in mammography like tomosynthesis, or what people refer to as 3D mammography.
We're very excited tonight to host the Queen of the Summer Read, Ellen Hildebrand, who herself is a breast cancer survivor.
I am a only two-year breast cancer survivor. And I'm going to talk tonight a little bit about my books and my journey as an author, and then I'm going to talk about my journey as a breast cancer patient and survivor. I am so inspired by people survivors that I hear talk, regardless of who they are. And so the fact that I'm able to attract a larger audience and get the message out that we need to fund research, we can beat this disease. Women's journeys through the breast cancer experience all have things in common. And so I want to sort of share the universality, because this can affect anyone, our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our friends.
I hope that tonight women take away the importance of screening mammography, and that screening mammography saves lives. And it's important that women come for regular screening mammograms, that they understand the importance of mammography, that I hope that they understand a little bit more about what we do and how we look for it, how obscure it can be. And I hope that the information that they receive tonight empowers them to make their healthcare decisions, and that they feel good about the decisions that they're making.
It wouldn't officially be Halloween season without Jeff Cohen's annual Halloween party and fundraiser. We headed down to the Hotel 1620 in the center of downtown Plymouth and stuck out like a sore thumb as the only ones there without costumes at this fantastic masquerade ball. It was the 20th time that Jeff Cohen has put on the event, but everyone there was having just as much fun as they did the very first time around.
This is the 20th annual Halloween benefit we've done. They didn't start out as benefits. They were just parties in the beginning. For lack of anybody throwing a really good Halloween party in the area. I started doing it a long time ago, more than 20 years. I stopped doing them for a brief period in between. I put them back on the table about 10 years ago, give or take. But they're great parties, but they're benefits now. They're no longer just a bunch of people getting together. Now we all get together and we help raise money for a family around town that suffered a loss, whether it's a parent or a child. They're good. This is the 20th one I've done. I like doing them at the Radisson 1620 Hotel. It's very user-friendly. The staff is really good to work with here, and we can set the room up as we see. $20 a ticket doesn't bring in an awful lot of money. We sell volume tickets and we do games. We do a silent auction with about 50 to 60 items every year. We do a Plinko game, like on The Price is Right. You drop the Plinko puck, it drops in a slot, and you win the prize associated to it. We've got a game called the Coffin Game this year. You buy a coffin, there are 50 on the board. Every coffin costs $10. When all is sold, it's $500 in the pot. We pick one, all the coffins are numbered. We write your name down next to the number that you buy. Whoever wins gets $100. And 10 of the 50 coffins give you an instant winner, and you get to pick out of the prize draw. It's a really cool Halloween party. Halloween to me is really important. If you saw my arm, I got a huge Jack Skellington tattoo on my arm. I mean, I've always liked Halloween. The year that my daughter said she was too old to go trick-or-treating with me, I was crushed. I was absolutely crushed. I love Halloween. I look forward to it every year. If you come to my house trick-or-treating, you get crazy candy. And it's a great time for people to get together and just put a costume on and have fun. If it's your first time coming to the Halloween party, you know, costumes are mandatory. We stress the costumes, and a lot of people really take the costumes seriously. I mean, people stop planning the costumes right after the party in some cases. I've had people flying in from, we have people from Seattle here today, we have people from Florida. I mean, my friends know the party's going on, and they'll plan their travel around it, and they'll come back home to come to the party every year. I've seen people meet and get married here, have families. I mean, it's crazy. So if you're gonna come to the party for the first time, bring a smile. It's a lot of fun. There's never a bad attitude here. It's all about a bunch of good people getting together, making new friends, and helping raise money.
Halloween was in the air at the Alden House in Duxbury for their 14th annual Haunted House fundraising event. Even the rainy weather couldn't keep kids and parents away for this community event. We even took a chance and braved our way through the haunted Alden House to bring you this story.
This is the 14th annual Alden Haunted House, and it celebrates heritage and fun and the fall. And the house is open for tours, but these aren't just any tours. These are spectacularly, hauntingly tours with reenactors playing the different roles. It mix a little history, a little fun.
Welcome to the Great Room. I am Colonel Alden, formerly Captain and grandson to the original John Alden. You are standing in the oldest portion of the house, known as the Great Room.
There are games for kids, activities, and we've had a lot of help from so many different community groups. The Crossroads for Kids, the National Honor Society, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. So it's a great family event. In the barn, which it's a reconstructed barn, we have food, and that's of course where you're going to buy your tickets, and the museum gift shop. So a place to get warm and to get some warm cider and popcorn and all those good things. We have not only a haunted house, we have haunted trails. And these trails leads out to the Alden First site, which is the site of the original Alden home. It's haunted by who knows whom, but perhaps some Boy Scouts, perhaps some body parts. Who knows what's going to pop out. Of course, this is the home of the homestead of John and Priscilla Alden. Mayflower Pilgrims. This place has been in the Alden family since 1627, and it's a wonderful way to celebrate history and fun and the community. You know, it's the next generation, and to have kids come here and get to see a historic home from a whole new perspective, they'll never forget it, and hopefully they take away just a great memory of experiencing a local history story.
Thanks for watching. Check out our website for information on the show as well as replay times and links to each story. We're also available on YouTube.
Please follow us on social media for the news and behind-the-scenes fun. You can also catch PCN on PACTV's new streaming channel, PACTV Prime. The link is on our website.
Stay tuned as a brand new PCN Life is up next. We welcome a new segment with local comedian Christine Hurley. We'll see you next week for more PCN.